Hello, John, the Yin Yang Gemini again. Just gonna talk about. I know I may be a little late on this, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. Just sort of a quick review of the movie Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. It's the live-action Batman vs. Superman movie. Really, I mean, I'm glad I didn't see it in the theater. I would not have want to have wasted the money for that, and it's much better when you can pause it and move on with your life for a while, and then go out and try and finish it later. And I know David Lynch would probably be abhorred for me saying that because he doesn't. You should watch the movie as one experience, and I agree with that generally. Especially for more artistic movies, but there are some times where you just need a break. I kind of felt that with Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. I'm ambivalent about it because there's bits that were kind of cool that I liked, and there's a lot of stuff in it that I was kind of just and there's stuff that I just flagrantly didn't like. First and foremost, we must completely stop, and reset ourselves away from this utter cult of Frank Miller. All right? Most of us aren't 15 anymore, and therefore the sort of testosterone, overly dark and gritty remnant of the 90s thing we can be done with. Thank you very much. And whomever decided that Zack Snyder should still be going forward with things needs to stop too. Because almost all anything having to do with Superman was rubbish. A couple exceptions. Amy Adams as Lois Lane actually might have been pretty cool if they would actually done anything with her beyond like the first 15, 20 minutes. It was like, oh, okay, we put her in danger. We tell everyone she's really important at some point in time. We show her in the bath, and we're pretty much done. I mean, she was just kind of there-ish at some points in time, and that was basically it. Lawrence Fishburne's Perry White was fantastic. That might have been the best part of that whole Superman sections of those movies were him, and he was just great. Henry Cavill, I'm sure he's a good actor. I haven't really seen him in too much. This is not a good showcase for him, because whomever thought that Superman was supposed to be the dark and gritty, broody type completely misses the entire point of the comics. And quite frankly, DC needs to get back to what the point of their comics are, because their movies are crap. Exception of some of the animated stuff, their movies are crap. There has not yet once been one actual pure good Batman movie. Not like the way Marvel's making, pure good comic book movies for their titles. There hasn't been one for Batman. There's been Tim Burton movies, there's been Joel Schumacher movies, and that utter cluster F of whatever the hell Christopher Nolan had about smelling Christopher Nolan. Because that's all those movies were Christopher Nolan smelling Christopher Nolan, and that's it. They had the potential, and they failed quickly. Even within Batman Begins, failed miserably about being Batman movies. Sorry, it's just the truth. So, and Zack Snyder's failing miserably with all the Superman stuff, and that's not Superman at all. I'll give Ben Affleck credit. First and foremost, he got ripped for that. He's doing like the pull-ups with the weight belt on and anything like that. Like, damn, Affleck. Impressed. So we have, excuse me, just gonna get that off of there. So we have that, and him as Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, worked out pretty well. Okay, I was like, oh, okay. But then all of a sudden he gets the bat suit on, and it's all Frank Miller-y again, and it just gets all just not good. And then he's just not good as that great as Batman. Not really. Now, I don't dislike Jesse Eisenberg. I haven't seen him in too much, but what I have seen him in, okay, seems pretty good. And he was a pretty good actor in this. But whoever thought, Zack Snyder, that Lex Luthor needs to be a twitchy little twerpy kind of guy is an idiot. Jesse Eisenberg, at least the way he was playing him, is not Lex Luthor. I don't know who the hell he was, where they got the inspiration for it, why they made him some sort of just twitchy mess or anything like that, but that was ridiculous. Every time he was on there, it made the movie worse. Again, Jesse Eisenberg, not a bad actor, just the choices it was, and it was supposed to be Lex Luthor and all this other stuff, made everything worse. It did not help trying to do something new and creative with Lex Luthor. No, it was crap. Zack Snyder, you made garbage decisions. Okay? The little teaser thing with Aquaman under the water, well, that was kind of neat. Yeah. I was looking forward to seeing Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and that did not disappoint. She was able to balance out being very graceful, being very self-aware and capable, even just in the gowns and just sort of like not buying any of the garbage and doing her thing. And then when it came to, being full-blown Wonder Woman, she did a really good job as that. I thought she was, kind of realistic as the warrior. She was able to pull off the outfit without just looking like some sort of sexy Halloween costume sort of thing. They made that work pretty well. So I'm kind of looking forward to the Wonder Woman movie now, having seen that. And I have to admit, I'm so burned out of Batman, and I never would have thought I would ever have said that, but I'm super burned out of Batman, so Wonder Woman has kind of taken that, you're my favorite comic book character now, sort of title. So I'm looking forward to that. If I had not read a lot of the comics that some of this stuff was based on, that whole point, there's just, that 5-minute sequence or so where you see this other sort of deserty world, the big Omega sign on the thing, and then Batman gets captured and is, Superman comes down and all these people are, genuflecting to him like he's some sort of god, and then he basically is torturing Batman for stuff. I wouldn't know what the hell was going on with that. It was utterly and completely not explained. It was like someone put in their Apocalypse movie into my Batman movie, and it made no sense. So they tried to do this explanation poorly putting Flash in as some sort of weird dimensional traveler, giving him a clue that, the world's going to get messed up and Lois Lane is the key. And at this point in time in the movie, you're like, really? Because after they shoulder into Baz, she hasn't been a key to Jack this whole time. And then you're supposed to infer from that other thing that you saw was, I'm guessing you're supposed to infer that because it wasn't explained at all. The only reason I am inferring this is because I've read a bunch of the comics that some of these are based off of, is that there's this other either dimension or future that could possibly be happening if we don't get our heads out of our butt and use Lois Lane as the key to what we don't know. Now, I know about, Apocalypse and the New Gods and Darkseid and stuff like that, again, because I've read the comics. None of that was explained in the movie. You have to explain stuff in the movies because you can't just assume that everyone kind of knows what's going on, because, they had a little, it's almost sort of like the 1996 movie with the Eighth Doctor. All of a sudden you have your hero that you're setting up, and then the first few minutes you kill him off and someone else takes his place. Okay, you can kind of explain regeneration to people, but if you're just making this one-shot movie to get new fans, it's really confusing. And it makes no sense to newer people to the event. And the other people are going, oh yeah, regeneration, that makes sense. I like this guy, he's cool. The rest of the people are going, what? Why is he someone different now? Why did he go here, get shot, and be someone... Regeneration time? What? Same thing with this. It's like, oh, big Omega sign, and we're thinking, those of us who've read the comics, Darkseid, this Apocalypse, or Apocalypse is invaded or something. Everyone else is going, the F is this? Is this random other dimension? Is this another future? What the hell? And then randomly, okay, who's the guy in the weird lightning telling Batman Lois Lane is the key? What point is that? No point whatsoever. Absolute no sense. It reminded me of, if you've ever read the Godfather book, Mario Puzo's book, The Godfather, there's one chapter with, was it Johnny Fontaine, the Frank Sinatra kind of rip-off guy, and I forget her name, who was Sonny's mistress. You can read The Godfather, skip those chapters, save yourself some time, and have absolutely no problem knowing what's going on in the rest of the book. They're completely superfluous. If you read War of the Worlds, there's a whole chapter about the narrator's brother and rescuing these two ladies or something like that, and being kind of around when everything's happening. Completely superfluous. You don't need it. You can completely skip it and not miss anything of the book. That's what I felt about that scene in the sort of, God Superman with the apocalypse thing, and then the weird Flash coming in telling him Lois Lane was important. Completely skipped that part of the movie, completely cut it out. Would have made the movie a little shorter, which would have been better. Would have been less confusing, which would have been better. Would have been less forced trying to show how many people, like the Flash. I mean, you had the whole computery thing that you were going to do anyway, that you could have done with that and showed the Flash, which you did anyway, and that would have just been smoother with that. So, Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, fairly ambivalent. A lot of stuff I didn't like, a couple things I kind of did, and most of it was just kind of. So if you haven't seen it already, not really missing anything if you want to go ahead and skip it. So that's it for now. Yin Yang Gemini, my name is John. Please like, subscribe, share, all that other fun YouTube-y stuff, and I will talk to you later.